I don't know how people drive in cars without music. Those people I don't trust.
How does it feel to be 35 years old?
It's a lovely, lovely question. It feels good. I would say, I said this before we got cut off, you couldn't pay me to go back to my 20s. And I think that's just due to having insecurities that I really thought I could never get over. When you're in your 20s, you think the world, you break up with a boyfriend, your world's gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get older and you're like, oh shit, I got through that.
Yeah.
And then I get through this. But yeah, no, it feels good. Certainly had more of a challenging year last year, but the more I go through, the stronger I feel. Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think some of your biggest battles and insecurities were?
I think there's still things that I struggle with today. I just deal with them differently. But I think one of the biggest themes that have emerged in my life through hours of therapy is lack of self-worth and fear of failure. And I've always been like a creative, artistic person, and I ended up in jobs, no fault to the jobs, that didn't really speak to who I am. And so kind of got to a little bit of a breaking point. You get to a point where you see your family getting older and getting sicker and, having Alzheimer's and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, wow, life is short.
Way too short.
It's short. Yeah. And my friend Kim always taught me this too. It's like you literally have a very small, minute time with someone on this earth. I'm not always grateful, don't get me wrong, but I try and think about what I'm grateful for, and that's to be alive.
Yeah, that's great. We all wake up every morning, and that's the biggest blessing we could get, right? We're here today, we can make a difference. Instead of fretting all day about why our life isn't going the way it should be, but we have the opportunity to change that, right?
You've always been awesome with that too. Well, how long have I known you for?
6 years.
It's crazy. From day one, you've always been someone that's been like, if I don't like my circumstances, I'm going to change them. And it's easier said than done. That's a philosophy that I am working on now, is if it's out of my control. I think I saw this on Instagram. If it's out of your control, it deserves freedom from your mind too. I mean, I don't always go by that, but
yeah.
But it's a nice saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
If you could advertise on a billboard in front of the general public, what would your message to the world be?
It's a really good question. Ooh. There is a really good quote. I don't know where it's from. Essentially, it's just be as curious about what's going on inside of you as you are on the outside world. For example, if someone upsets me, why am I upset? Is it because they just told me something that I know is right and I don't want to hear it? Which is a struggle of mine. I'm a stubborn person. Is it because I'm jealous of them? Is it because I'm unhappy with myself and I don't want to see them happy? Be more curious about why you react to certain things, and then that gives you self-worth. And to get to know who you are, so that you can show up in the world as 100% who you are as much as possible.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. What makes you happy in life?
As soon as you said that, my first thought was music. As soon as I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I do. Either put on music on my sound system or headphones or play music. I don't know how people drive in cars without music. Those people I don't trust.
Yeah.
But seeing other people happy, genuinely happy, not because they bought a new car or a new house or
Not
material things, that genuinely hey, I feel good today. I feel proud of myself.
Yep.
And when you see someone like that, especially if they've been struggling, it's such a nice feeling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest role model?
Hard-hitting question. People would look at me and be like, well, your mom, obviously. That's a really hard question. Honestly, I've never been someone that's looked for role models, but I think the older I get, the more I realize I need to grasp parts of people that I like. I think that's my answer to your question. It's one person doesn't give me what I need for growth, but I find that in parts of different people, my dad's a businessman. I respect his ability to create a business from scratch and be successful, and now he's living his best life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
One of the person that sticks out as a female role model is my stepmom, Heather. She's just a freaking badass, dude. What I love about Heather is she keeps my dad young. They're always out exercising, doing the latest. They do more stuff than I do. And she's just a very level-headed, spiritual, loving, caring, family-oriented person, and very motivated. It's inspiring, but also fuck, I wish I could do it. I can, but
Yeah.
yeah, no. So I would say, yeah, parts from different people, as even just people I meet on the street. If I can say one thing too, that's the biggest thing I love about just going outside and like going to get a coffee. Like literally one interaction can change your day. And you have the power to do that to other people too.
Yeah, it can make or break your day.
Absolutely.
How does it feel to lose a parent, specifically your mother?
It doesn't feel real. To me, it's actually quite bizarre to talk to people my age and then be like, oh, I'm going to my parents' house. And I'm like, what's that like? I don't think I really registered it, and I don't think I still have. I don't know who my mom would have been now. And my mom doesn't know who I would be, well,
Today.
Honestly, it just sucks. There's really no other way to put it. Like watching your mom get progressively sicker and then watch your dad fall apart and your family fall apart and then rebuilding from that. It just sucks. But my mom was like me in the sense that she was very creative, but she didn't do anything with that. Like she just ended up kind of taking care of me and my sister. And that's kind of like motivation for me not to do that. It's a weird feeling to walk through the world and see people with their family and there's like a pang of like jealousy. I wish I could walk with my mom to the park.
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, my mom was a very spiritual person, and there's been some times in the past little bit where I swear my mom saved my life. Like I don't have any other way to explain it other than she's watching me, and so that's given me some comfort. You don't always have to have someone physically there to feel like they're there.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really deep and heartwarming. I'm sorry you had to experience that.
It's nice to have someone ask you that, because I think the further along you get with a death in the family, especially if it was close, people in the beginning ask you how you're doing. And then when you're years down the road, they kind of forget. And I do that too with people that have lost family members. Sometimes you forget, like, gee, check up on them when it's 10 years in. Like, how are they fucking doing? Because you just don't forget, like, just when it happens, you don't just forget and move on.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, you should always, if you truly care about someone, you're going to check on them consistently, constantly, make sure they're okay. Yeah. They're actually okay.
Yeah, and give them the space to be not okay. Because I think that's a hard part with today. We ask people if they're okay. And so they tend, like, I know when people were asking me when I was super depressed, are you okay? It got to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't okay. But I don't want to bring anyone else down with me. So having people around me in my life that have given me the ability, like I have some friends from treatment that are like, how you doing? I'm like, shitty. And they're like, cool. Like, I don't have to pretend and be like, yeah, everything's great. I love life. Even though I have everything I could ever ask for. I have money, freedom, friendships, anything I could ever want. Sometimes you're having a shitty day. That's okay.
It's okay to not be okay.